Okay, and today we're going to cover two things. One of them is support doubles and redoubles, which is on the back of your convention card, that pretty much everybody plays. And the second thing, we're going to go off the convention card for a bit, and we're going to talk about how you play the cards, specifically as declare. Playing the cards is more important than bidding. Like, I know a lot of people who are mediocre players who are really successful club players because they play the cards really well. Like, I wouldn't want to play with them because I know they don't know how to bid, but they are very successful because they do know how to play the cards, and that's more important. People who are good bidders who don't know how to play the cards are never better than average players. No matter how good you bid, you can't make up for bad card play. So I'm going to try and help you out. So we're going to start with support doubles and redoubles. And what support doubles and redoubles are is I open, I'm the opener, I open, you bid a suit, they interfere, I double and redouble. When I do that, I'm showing exactly 3 card support, not 4 card support, 3 card support, always. If I have 4 card support, what am I going to do?
Raise their
Yeah, just raise you, right? I don't need a special bid for that, right? The idea is finding 8 card majors is something you usually want to play in. And when you have a sequence like this, I open a club with this hand. This opponent is nice enough to pass. We always like when the opponents pass. We don't want them muddying our auction, right? Conversely, when we're playing, we'll muddy up the auction any chance we get, right? But they passed. Partner bid a heart. How many hearts is he showing? 4, right? He could have 5, he could have 6, he could have 7. But he's only promising 4, right? For them to rebid their hearts later on, how many are they showing?
6.
6, right? The hole is obvious, they might have 5, right? That's where support doubles and redoubles are. You want to find that 5-3 fit, and since your partner's not going to get to rebid them on their next bid, you're going to help them. That's the point of the bid. Anyway, this opponent, not surprisingly, bids a spade. After all, looking at the hand, if you only have 4 of them between, somebody's going to be bid spades, and that's the one who bid them, right? They bid a spade. This is your classic support double. I double, I'm showing you 3 hearts. If I had 4 hearts, I would bid 2 hearts, right?
4 hearts, you're saying you'd bid 2 hearts?
Yeah, if I had 4, if I had
Oh,
a 4th
okay.
heart here, right?
Right.
Then I'd bid 2 hearts. That's not a support double anymore. Support double, exactly 3.
Okay.
So I bid the support double. My partner knows I have 3 hearts. This guy can push the spades up some more if he wants, but my partner knows to bid 4 hearts. You know, they have a marginal opener, and we know we have an 8 card heart fit. So that's how it should work.
How many
If
points for that support double?
I opened, right,
Okay.
remember, I opened.
So it's just, still just opening hand.
Right, it's just, so it doesn't say anything about my points. You don't know if I have a good opener or a bad opener.
Probably at least 6 to 9 though, right?
No, I opened this hand, right?
Right, right. I meant as responder to that.
Responder could have been a heart. They could have 6, they could have as little as 6, Or they could have the moon, right?
Right.
One heart does not limit your hand, right?
Okay.
You're showing your shape.
Yeah, I'm just
Exactly
telling you,
3 cards.
Show the-
I got 3 hearts and I have an opener. Now, it's your turn. Now, if instead of double, if opener passes, that I'm, what does your partner know? Say I didn't make a support double. What does your partner now know?
You don't have.
You
You don't have
I don't have 3 hearts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's not optional. I can't fix it later on. If I don't show the support double when I have the chance, other than telling my partner right across the table, hey, I got 3 hearts, there's no way to fix that. You'll never convince your partner you have 3 hearts anymore. There's no fixing a bad bid. And so your partner knows that you have 2 or less, but you have 4, you would bid 2 hearts. Right? So your partner knows, and then what's your partner gonna do with this hand?
Pass. Oh wait, which one? Which one?
What would your partner do with this hand, right?
Oh, double?
Like if it went, and especially if they did 3 spades, right? What's your partner gonna do?
The double for diamonds. No?
Double wouldn't be for diamonds. Like if you had, you would just bid the diamonds if you had them.
You got 4. They're on the board.
Yeah, but they're pretty ratty, right? You really gonna bid 4 diamonds on that diamond suit?
No.
No, nobody's gonna bid 4 diamonds.
That's why I said
Listen.
double, but
Probably go to 4 hearts,
No,
even though you don't have 6.
Well, it's, your partner is telling you they got
they
2
even
or
have
less.
3, right?
But an opener and an opener, right?
How often, yeah, but they're both marginal openers.
Oh, okay.
You're looking at something like 26 points, and at the best, a 7-card heart suit. Your partner's not promising you 2 even, right?
Right.
He's promising you 2 or less. Most people are gonna call it a day and hope for a positive score. Like, it's too weak to bid 4 diamonds, right? Like, I don't wanna be playing 4 diamonds. This is not the suit to try out at the 4 level, because it is to play. Double will be for penalty.
Okay.
Like, basically, your partner showed you an opener and no heart fit, right? If your diamonds are good enough, you bid them. Since they're not good enough, you might want to double thinking, hey, we got most of the points. Or you might be thinking, I'll be happy with a plus score since we have a mismatch, right? Mismatches are generally unpleasant to bid and unpleasant to play. Like, whenever there's a mismatch, I always like my partner to play. Yeah,
But responder is 13 plus 2 doubletons. Does not upgrade that hand?
Well, the double tens are not worth it when you're declare. They're worth it if you're, the double tens give you value for roughing, right? That's why you're thinking upgrade. You don't want to be roughing in a long hand. You want to be roughing in responder's hand. So you don't count anything for the double tens.
Okay.
If my partner, if we were playing in partner suit, then I'd count the double tens. Because now I'm roughing something. You don't, which is a good point in general, because we're going to talk about the play of hand soon. A common mistake is, if I get a chance to rough when I'm declared, I'm roughing, right? Beginners do that all the time. And sometimes it's right. But when it's usually wrong is when you're roughing with the hand with the long trumps. Basically, the hands with the long trumps, you don't want to rough with. One, they're going to be good anyway, right? You're going to have trump when everybody else is out. So you're trumping with a good trick anyway. The second thing, if you do trump, you're shortening yourself as a trump, and that's how you lose control of the hand. All of a sudden, they're playing winners, and you can't trump them anymore, but you use all your trump are gone, right? So anyway, you'd have two marginal openers opposite each other. You don't have a fit, and they do have a fit. And there are times when you'd be lucky and be able to make four hearts, but you'd have to be lucky.
Boy, with both openers, you'd almost think you should be able to set them, but
Well, you could. There's nothing wrong. Like
spades
probably if I'm playing match points, I will probably double, thinking that yeah, I got a couple tricks. My partner got a couple tricks. They're down. If I'm playing imps, I'm not doubling. Imps, if you double into game, you better set them. There's nothing wrong with doubling at imps if you're going to set them, but if you're not going to set them and you just doubled them into game, you just lost the match. Right, because you just gave them a game bonus. And at imps, that's poison. So for me, if it went like this, at match points, I'd figure, hey, I got the diamond ace, I had the king, queen of hearts, king of clubs, I get it. I probably have three tricks. I certainly have two tricks. The partner opened. An opener should have two tricks, so I would double.
Right.
But I'm not doubling for a one trick set at imps, right? The difference between getting 50 instead of 100's not worth it if I'm giving them the chance to have 600, right? Okay, that also support redoubles are not much different. Like if they if the opponent decides to double here, the redouble, then you have a support redouble. So it's the same idea, except instead of bidding, your opponent's doubled. So when you redouble, you're showing the three, right?
You're showing the three heart support.
Yep, it's always 3 card support for your partner suit. So that's what a support redouble is. And it's pretty easy to remember, right? Because after the opponent's double, you can't double anymore, right?
so in that auction, is the contract one heart redoubled if everybody passed after that?
Yeah, and of course, they're not, right? They're not going to let you play one heart. Like this guy, this person is showing what?
Four spades.
The other two suits, right? You bid clubs and hearts, he better have diamonds and spades. So if this guy has 4 of either diamonds or spades, he better bid them. Or, and there's some people, and that's kind of a matter of partnership agreement, if they had 3 spades, they would just bid it. Kind of what you were saying, I'll play in the 7-card suit. So for me, if I have 3 spades, I'll probably bid them. And I don't have 4 diamonds, right? Anyway, that's support doubles and redoubles. Any questions on that? Always 3-card support. And like I was saying early, the most important thing in bridge is how well you play the cards. When I first started playing with my dad, we won all the time, and I had no idea what any of the bits meant. and I was a young kid and I didn't care. And we won all the time because I could play the cards and he played them better than me, and we just won. And it wasn't because of stellar bidding. My bidding system looked like, well, what do I think I could make? And I just bid it and let the cards fall where they may. It drove him crazy. When he became an old man and he was retired and we would talk, he said, remember how we used to win all the time and you never knew what you were doing? Well, there's a lot of that in bridge. If you play the cards well enough, you can win even if you're not a great bidder. Like Aletha was easily the best player I played with outside my dad, by far. But she could figure stuff out faster than anybody else. She's the best defender, she's the best declarer, and she's probably the smartest person in the room. But she wasn't a particularly good bidder. She was a very average bidder, but it didn't matter because she was so much better at everything else, she would win. And it always made me chuckle when people would show her hands and ask her how she should bid them. I'm thinking, if you want to ask her how you should play them, she's the one to ask. There ain't nobody better. Or how to defend them, there's nobody better. But in terms of bidding, like she did basic things wrong. Like a lot of you have heard me talk about, people love to ask for aces when they're looking for a slam, right? That's how Aletha did it. It was like sounding the bugle, right? I'm looking for slam, right? That was 4-0 trump with Aletha. And that's how she played. And a lot of times it was flat out wrong. And I would talk to her about some of it, and her response to me, well, take a chance. And I'm thinking, why should you take a chance on something that's not going to work? And it surprises people. I never won a gold point with Aletha, mostly because she was too sick to play in tournaments from the day I met her. But we tried a couple times. And one time, and we were of course playing a pretty high bracket, but she had a ton of points. And we're playing and we win the round robin, and then we're in the second round in high bracket, and we're playing against a pretty good team. And I played the game of my life. And we lost. And she played great. At the other table, our partners, I won't give you their names since you know it.
Oh, come on, Jeff.
But I'll keep that to myself. Anyway, what they did, they bid 4 slams that had no chance. They went down right off the top. And because of that, at our table, they didn't bid those slams. We lost. And Aletha was mad at them as she could possibly be. You had no idea. That's probably the maddest I ever saw her. Because we were going to win, and they bid all these slams. And she was saying, well, we should have had those cards, and then we would have won this. We wouldn't have bid those slams. And I'm thinking, I'm really glad that we weren't there, because she would have done just what they did. That's what would have happened.
Hey, Jeff, would you schedule at some point a slam bidding, a beginner's slam bidding
Yeah,
class?
we might do that next class.
That would be wonderful.
But anyway, 2 rules you don't do. You don't ask for aces if you have 2 quick losers in a suit that you and your partner haven't bid. That's just asking for the ace-king to come down. The other
Say that
one,
again, if you have 2 quick trick
if you have
losers?
2 losers in a suit, and your partner hasn't bid it. Like if your partner bid it, you could figure there's a good chance that they have at least second round control. But if they didn't bid it and you don't have it, you're just making a suicide bid. Because you're just begging for that ace-king to come down. The other one is, if you have a void, don't ask for aces. When they tell you that they have 1 ace,
It's in your void.
and you don't know if it's in your void or not, how's that helping you, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, despite all, and there, I could talk about other things that she did wrong too, it didn't matter. She played the card so much better, she won. Okay, the number 1 rule is think before you play to the first trick, even if it's automatic. Make a plan. Before you play that first card from dummy, even if it's a singleton, don't ask for it. You make a plan. You make the best plan you can. And as you do it more, you'll make better plans. Like, nobody's going to become a world-class declarer by listening to me for 20, 30 minutes, right? But I can get you started and you can improve on it. But the point is, make a plan before you play. I had a partnership end with this guy. He had a ton of points too, but he was no elite. And what he always did is he thought, but after he played to the first trick, he was in the wrong hand a lot of times after that first trick. And on the hand that ended our partnership, he went down on a hand that was cold. That didn't set well with me. And what set even less well with me is when it was done, he was complaining about the contract we were in. Because he could tell I wasn't happy, even though I didn't say anything. But he got it. And he was complaining, and I'm thinking, you're complaining about the wrong thing. We're in the right contract. You just screwed the pooch because you ended up in the wrong hand on the first trick. And now you can't make it anymore. So, get into the habit of always pausing on the first trick and make the best plan you can. Sometimes plans are easy, sometimes they're hard. But the idea is to get better at it, right? Wherever you are, you can improve on that. Some of the things you think about are your winners. Fast winners and slow winners, right? What is a fast winner?
Ace.
Aces, points, kings.
Well, a trick I can take right away, right? Once I'm in, I could take that, like an ace is always a fast trick. If I have an ace king in the suit, that's two fast tricks, right? Tricks I could take as soon as I'm in, those are fast tricks. What's a slow trick?
Ones you set up.
Yeah, ones I gotta let them in to take. Like I have the king queen or something and I'm missing the ace. That's a slow trick, right? If I lay down the king, they're probably not gonna let me have it, right? So that's a slow trick. So fast losers and slow losers. Like if I have the suit and I have ace XX in one hand and king XX in the other hand, I don't have any fast losers in that suit. I got the ace king, I got two fast winners, and I have one slow loser. Eventually, if I don't do anything about it, I'm going to lose that third trick. Part of the plan is, what can I do not to lose it? What can I do not to lose it? The standard methods to not lose the trick are what? Trump it if you can, right? Here, probably not going to trump it since it's three in both. I probably have to find a suit I can discard it on, right? Either a high card or length, right? Length, people underestimate length. Like one thing Marty Bergen always writes, he never saw a 5-card suit he didn't like. That 5th card often will give you a discard. People who don't play very much, they see a ratty 5-card suit, they don't even think it is going to be any good, right? Think about, can you make it right? Anyway, that's fast and slow. And when you're thinking winners, if I'm counting winners, how many winners is that?
One.
It's only one for sure, right? But it's certainly a potential winner, right? When I'm looking at that queen, if they bid that suit in front of me, how do I feel about that queen?
Pretty good.
Really good, right? It's not, bridge is a statistical game. It's not a for sure game, right? If they bid the suit, it's more likely they have the king than their partner. That means this queen's gonna have, and if they bid it behind me, I'm not feeling too good about that queen. And so if they bid it in front of me, I'm gonna always finesse them for it, or almost always. If they get it behind me, I'm gonna do everything I can to end play him. End play means if this guy's behind me, make him play it to me. And usually you strip the hand, you get rid of everything, so all he has left is that suit, and he has to come to you. So, there are potential winners. Like if I have a suit, how many winners is that? None, right? Well, who knows if you could, depends on the rest of the hand whether you could set something up. But it should hit you that I got 5 cards in that suit. That means there's only 8 of them out, right? And I haven't shown you what the other hand has. It has the potential for winners, right? With the length. So don't dismiss cards like that.
Especially in no trump.
Yeah, well, in no trump especially, but even in a suit contract, you want to use it for tricks. Like I told you before, which hand do you want to be in? And which hand am I going to have trouble getting to? Like, don't burn entries without thinking about it. So manage your entries. And what does unblock mean?
Play a high card early so you can take the trick later with a lower card.
High card for the short side.
Yeah, usually it's a high card from the short side so you can reach transportation, right? Like if I have ace, king, queen, yeah, that's where that goes. Well, say I have ace, king, 4, right? And say I find out through the play, somebody has 4 to the queen, and they don't have the time. Say it's queen, so they only have 3, but I can't get over here anyway. Basically, I play the ace king and then the 4. I don't let him have the 4. But if I have ace 10-4, what I want to do is save the 4, right? So I can get down there. So I play the ace and the 10 first, and then the 4, so I can get over there, right? Like I have 8 of them. And what does this guy have? King,
Jack.
should have came up with a better example.
Yeah.
Yeah, I left it with the king, jack. We want,
Maybe one more little card in your hand.
yeah, but then you don't need to unblock.
You got an ace in your hand and it's keeping you from getting to the board.
We'll give him jack. And now, this guy has the king and what?
10.
King 10. Still not a great example, but anyway, I'll think of one later. All right, let's look at the hand. And this is from Eddie Cantor, February 2021. And it's on page 61.
Can you access that online through,
Yeah, you can find all that from the Rich Paul's online. So here's those are the two hands. And it's how the bidding goes. West bids one club. Oh, and this is north and this is south.
I've got the same cards on the clubs for both hands.
Oh, thanks. North past, east past, and south. It's like somebody wants to get it done in a hurry. 5 diamonds.
It's only 3 now.
Well, they don't have a club stop,
Don't have a
and
hard
they got a
stop.
singleton heart, and they bid clubs. But you're right, they should try and find 3 now.
You
The
got
partner
7
might
of
have to
the,
stop.
they've only got 6 clubs.
Uh, But you're right, but a lot of times people will do that, right?
Yep.
So they get there and the lead, King of Hearts. I'll give you a second, what's your plan?
Definitely the ace.
Okay, what's the rest of your plan after you win the ace?
I guess pull the trump.
And then what?
You can't play the ace because that's your entry into that hand.
Right, basically, when they led the King of Hearts, they gave you 2 things. They gave you a problem and they gave you an opportunity, both. Because if you look at it, you're at 5 diamonds. They could take ace, king, queen of clubs, and we go on to the next hand, right? So they gave you an opportunity by not cashing the clubs off the top. On the other hand, you're right. If I take my ace of hearts,
No,
I'm gonna be playing the whole hand from this hand. I can never reach dummy again, right? And what's gonna happen? Eventually, I'm gonna lose those 3 clubs. That's what's gonna happen, right? They're not gonna disappear by themselves, right? Back to you, what's the plan?
I guess let it go and then you can rough the next go around. Gotta get that ace of spades off of there so you can,
Right, you got it.
We
But
went
yeah.
rough the next go, you use the ace of hearts and pitch the
You
ace of
find that-
spades.
Ace of spades to unblock the suit.
Right, that's the key.
But you're praying they don't lose clubs.
Right. Part of it is, if you're gonna try and do something where you need their help, do it in a hurry. Because if you wait to let more cards that you get to see, the better planning they could do, and you're not gonna fold, right? You're gonna get a chance, you're gonna figure out what you're doing, your partner's gonna signal. So if you're gonna steal a trick or pull a fast one, do it early in the deal. And so you're right, I can't play the ace of hearts because now I know I'm gonna lose the clubs at the end, right? That's what you go through your mind. I can't afford to give up. So the first thing is duck the ace of,
They're ducking the king of hearts,
yeah, I'm not gonna play
but
the
you're not
ace.
gonna play the ace.
I'm saving,
Just hope they continue the queen.
and now I need their help, right? There's no way to make this hand if they don't, but a lot of people will. Once they won the king, and what you're gonna do is hope they play the queen. That's what you're hoping for. When they play the queen, well, this heart's gone now, right? Because you ducked, right? That's part of your plan, the heart's gone. And so when they play the queen, now you grab your ace.
and get rid of one of your clubs.
Well, get rid of the ace of spades.
Dump the ace of spades, right? This
Ooh.
is the unblocked play that I botched earlier, right?
Okay.
This is your typical unblocked play. The ace of spades is stopping me from getting 2 spade tricks on the board, right? So I'm gonna pitch the ace of spades if they lead a second heart.
I don't know, you look at, you got 4 clubs in the north and 3 clubs in the south, and those ring out as losers. If they lead a club, you're in trouble.
Yeah, if they lead a club, you're dead, that's right. It should hit you, you can't make this without their help. But if you give up, you won't make it for sure. And if you hold those 3 clubs till the end, you're gonna lose them for sure. Losers don't disappear in the sky, right? So, you gotta dump the spade, and then what you get to do is, now I play the king, queen of spades, right? And what do I do with them?
Six clubs.
I pitch 2 clubs, right? These disappeared, right? Now I can make it. What am I gonna lose? That first heart and 1
Jack.
club at the end. Now, you're right, if they defend properly, but defense is hard. I'm always gonna go down, right? But if they don't defend properly, and there's a good chance they won't, right? Most people, when the king of hearts wins, they'll play.
Well, they'd be afraid to lead a club because you might be leading into your ace queen, and the club honors are probably split.
Yeah, you could be sure they don't have the ace, king, queen, or they
Right.
would have led, right?
Right.
So they're missing a club honor, so they go with the second heart. And once they go with the second heart, Will they do it for sure? No, but they probably will do it, and for sure, you have a chance. If you don't do this, you have no chance.
So I've missed something, so when they continue with the queen, do you take the ace and then pitch the ace?
Sure, I can play the queen now,
Yeah, and you pitch the other ace.
because I'm pitching the
Okay,
ace of spades,
okay.
right? The key, that's the unblocked play that I watched earlier.
Right.
This is an unblocked.
Right,
I'm getting rid of the ace of spades, so I can pitch 2 clubs on the king, queen. If I don't get rid of the ace of spades, that means I didn't unblock, and I'm always gonna lose those clubs.
okay.
Okay, thanks for coming, I'll see you next week.
Okay, Cap.